Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to start Git. So let's understand what is a Git. Actually, Git is a version control system. What is a version control system? Let's understand. Suppose guys, when you are working any project, in a project, there are multiple developers are working. And each developer developing some piece of code. Suppose developer A and developer B. This is a developer A machine. This is a developer B machine. Developer A developing some piece of code and developer B also developing some piece of code in own local machine. Suppose once they have completed on task, so whatever task they have completed, we need to place that task in some common place because in one project there are multiple developers. So each developer doing own task. Suppose once they have completed the task, they need to push that task in some common place. So here we create one common repository, we can say central repository. So developer what does will create program in local machine, make changes, and after that it will push the code. And suppose sometimes what happens, suppose developer push the code, push the task in central repository. And later on, suppose there might be some changes is required. So developer A again make some changes and again push the code. And we want to manage the version also. Suppose first time when we have pushed the code, suppose this is a version 1 we are managing. Second times after making a changes, suppose again developer push the code, we are manage version 2. And again, suppose if any changes required, they make changes and then pushing the code that is called as a version 3. So we can manage those version also. So to manage this version control system, we are using Git. So using Git we can manage the control, yes, no, version system. We can track the changes, whatever changes is happen and who make the changes, when they have making a changes. So everything we can track. For that we are using Git. So in project development, yes, no. So in most of all the project development, every developer, yes, no, every team member using the Git and they are developing the code. After developing the code, they are using the Git to pushing the code, yes, no, to track the code, to track the files, whatever changes you have made, that we are using Git. So Git actually allow multiple developer work together on a project. So Git also allow to work multiple developer together on a project. So that's why, yes, no, Git we are using. So Git is nothing, is a distributed open source version control system that enables you to store code, track revision history, merge code changes, and revert to earlier code version when needed. So for that we are using Git. So let's now we understand, yes, no, what is a Git and how we can use Git. So let's very simple term. First we understand what is a Git. So in simple term we can say Git is a version control system. Git is a version control system that track, we can say that track changes to computer files, especially we can say especially source code, yes, no, source code in the software development, in software development. So Git also allow, we can say Git allow, so we can say it allows multiple developers to work together on a project. So Git allow to work multiple developer to work together. So Git is a distributed open source version control system. So you can check this PDF here. So Git is a open source version control system that enables you to store code, track revision history, merge code. Just like you can check here, there are multiple developers, and then developer can, yes, no, make a repository in local machine. They can make changes, yes, no, in your local machine also. We can track those changes. We can manage the version control system. And then finally, they can push the code in one central repository. So how we can manage this version control system? So for that we are using Git tool. So Git is a tool that helps to manage version control system. So that's why we are calling Git is distributed open source, open source, open source version control system. Open source version control system that enables you to store code and track revision history. We can say revision history. You can merge the code. You can merge code changes. You can merge code changes, and you can revert also. If you want to revert, you can revert to earlier. Yes, no. Earlier, yes, no. Code version when needed. When needed. So we are try to understand in this tutorials, yes, no, Git in more detail. So first of all, I hope it's clear, yes, no, what is a Git? Git is nothing, is a version control system by which we can track the changes to computer files. In next session, we will check, how we can install the Git and how we can use the Git. I hope it's clear what is a Git. Thank you.